Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I'm so excited I can barely contain myself because, as you know, I'm going to be doing another reading video with you all today. But today's book is very, very, very special, as the author of today's book is probably watching, which is probably the first time I can confidently say that. So a while back I got an email from a lovely, lovely person named Paisley telling me that she had written a book and it was about to come out, and the reason why she wanted me to know this was because she said my channel was part of the inspiration for the book, particularly my Skyrim speedruns, which, as you guys know, is a big thing on the channel. It's probably like my most viewed video, I think, is my very first speedrun. The one that took me over 4 hours and I had to refilm. It's super fun. But I was like absolutely shocked, blown away, and so excited for Paisley. So I immediately was like, I've got to read this book, I need to know the second it comes out. And I asked if I could have her permission to read part of it in a video, which she very kindly accepted. So I have it today on my Kindle. I have not gotten a paperback yet, which I definitely want a copy on my shelf, but I do have it here on my super cute Kindle. Isn't it very cute? And of course, I'm going to drop the link to the book in the description. Please go check it out for yourself. It's so good. I should say it's an adult romance, contemporary romance. So if you are like under 18, probably not recommended for you. But for everyone else who likes romance books like I do, especially ones revolving around gaming and nerdy hobbies, queer romance, all the above, this is gonna be the story for you. It's called Level Up by Paisley Rose. Let's put the cover up. How amazing is the cover? So cute. So cute. I love it. So I'm gonna read the first chapter, and there's kind of like little mini, I want to say like interludes. I don't know what Paisley would refer to them as, but they are really, I don't want to say too much, spoil it. The book makes me smile so much. I don't often like smile and laugh out loud while reading, but this book makes me smile and laugh out loud. So let's open up my Kindle. What a huge accomplishment to write a book. 'Cause when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a writer, and I was constantly writing stories and never finishing them. So I think to sit down, write an entire story out, and get it published, get it out there, whether you self-publish or trad publish, it's such a feat. So a little round of applause to Miss Paisley Rose. So cute. I know it's not going to show up really well because I'm looking with the, I'm on my Kindle and the screen's a little funky, but on the cover it says, real life doesn't come with quest markers. Ain't that the truth? Oh yeah, I want to say that this is part of a trilogy, the Honor Roll series, in which they are not about the same characters in every book, but they are all gonna be like nerdy game-based romances with different characters. So I'm gonna read the description of Level Up and then a little brief description of books 2 and 3 called Role Play, but it's ROLL, and Side Quest. So this first one, Level Up, says, Audrey has been streaming cozy video games, cutesy, fluffy games without combat or peril on her play-in channel for years. But when she decides to do a speedrun of her favorite game for the past decade, the combat-filled and peril-ridden fantasy role-playing game, The Stones of Aor 3, it soon becomes clear to her that she should have stayed in her lane. Her favorite streamer, at Scones of Aor, recently did his own speedrun of the game, and in beating his time, barely, Audrey has inadvertently called down an onslaught of gamer bros, tearing her to shreds for daring to play an RPG when she's nothing but a cozy gamer and a girl. The horror. And while all of that she can handle, what she can't stand is that Scones says nothing in her defense when his a-hole subscribers start bashing her on his streams. Another a-hole then. But when Audrey literally bumps into him on the street, she finds herself rethinking things as she gets to know him better. Maybe he's not an a-hole after all. Maybe he's kind of sweet and kind of funny and kind of hot? That can't be right. Well, Audrey doesn't exactly know where she falls on the asexuality spectrum. She's never found anyone hot before, and Scones, or Damien as he's known in the real world, certainly can't feel that way about her. Can he? With the new release of The Stones of Aor 4 and a blossoming crush on her favorite streamer, Audrey finds that all the words she used to describe herself aren't quite fitting right anymore. How can she be true to herself and stand up for herself when she doesn't even know who she is? And how could Damien want her when she doesn't even know what she wants? This sounds so perfect. I know you guys are already thinking probably like, oh, how much I can relate to Audrey. And let me tell you, can I relate? Level Up is a cute and nerdy romantic comedy with a little spice and a lot of laughs. Please be aware that this is an open door novel and includes sex on the page, even though the main character is aspec because it's a broad spectrum. Gamer disclaimer: there's a lot of references to video games, both real and made up for the story, as well as gameplay in this book, but you don't need to be a gamer to enjoy reading. They're just for a bit of flavor, but not the main part of the story. I can definitely see that, but I do think that if you are a gamer, this book is really going to resonate with you, and also you're going to get a lot of the little romances, the little references, and they'll be that much more special to you. There's book 2, roleplay, all the world's an RPG and the people merely players. So this one is going to be more about TTRPGs, tabletop role-playing games. Another deep love of mine, so I am incredibly excited to read this one as well. And book 3 is Side Quest, and this one looks like it's going to be continuing from concepts from book 2 about the TTRPG, because they're working on a show called The Role Players Show, and it's an unscripted web series where they act out tabletop role-playing games in full cosplay. So that sounds really, really fun. I'll let you read about those two for yourself. Let's get into the actual reading part. So I want all of you to sit back, get comfy. I will mention that there is like a little bit of swearing in this first chapter, which I am not going to really shy away from, except I won't say the F word. Yeah, I'll keep that off. Okay. So, Level Up on a Roll Book 1 by Paisley Rose. I'm going to read the content note first. While this is a low-stakes story, please be advised that there is some homophobia from background characters that is never condoned by the main characters but is sometimes ignored. Most of the main and secondary characters in this story are queer, and it's pretty clear that the homophobic remarks are not welcome. But please be aware going in if you're sensitive to this sort of thing, and feel free to skip this book if it's not for you. I'd also like to note that the story centers around a character that identifies as aspec, somewhere on the asexuality spectrum, but there is sex in the book, since her understanding of herself as someone who sometimes experiences sexual attraction is one of the main points of the book. This is not to say that all asexual people will experience this, or that they just haven't met the right person yet, because many will never feel this way, and that's okay. But it's also okay for those that do, and that's what this story is about. And the dedication is for the, you're not going to be able to read this, I don't know, for those of us still figuring it out. The titles of the chapters are hilarious. They're really great. This is by far the best game in the series, IMO. The combat is intuitive, and the quests are usually pretty engaging and fun. The skill checks can be a bit annoying at first, but as you level up, it starts to feel more natural. My only complaint is that I think you can quickly become overleveled before you're even halfway through the main quest. If you like playing like a god, which is fair, then you might love that, but for me, the later main quest just felt a bit tedious, and I wished I could have gone straight to the final boss like in SOA 1. Still, there's a lot of room to play around with different character builds, and you don't even need to finish the main quest to have a good time playing. Though there's actually a moral choice to make at the end of this game, which is a nice change of pace. If you liked the world building in SOA 1 and the quest mechanics in SOA 2, and you don't mind a bit of modding because the inventory UI is still terrible, then you'll probably have a lot of fun with SOA 3. At the very least, you need to recruit Hadley. You won't be disappointed. Review of the Stones of Aor 3 by @Scones of Aor on Plan, December 13th, 2014. Chapter 1. His stupid, weird mouth. Every young woman remembers her first time. Mine? I was 16. It was a blustery cold Friday, mid-November 2014. I'd have to check my logs for the exact date, but I'm painting a picture here. And I was home from school because it was a PA day. My mom and grandma were both working in the shop at the front of the house. This was back when it was still my grandmother's shop. And my sister Marie, of course, hadn't lived here for years. I was unsupervised and ready to get into some trouble with my childhood best friend, Cameron. Later, I would tell my mom that nothing happened, that it wasn't a big deal, that there was nothing to worry about. What I wouldn't tell her, though, is how my life changed forever that day. All because my, at the time, best friend introduced me to a little game called The Stones of Aor 3. It was my first time playing an action-adventure RPG. I was hooked. So much so that I barely left my computer desk for the next 6 weeks. I'm pretty sure Christmas still happened, but I couldn't give you any details. I'm just going on precedent for that one. Nearly a decade later, The Stones of Aor 3 is still my favorite video game of all time, and the 4th game in the series is coming out in, holy shit, 5 days. 5 more days, and I get to experience my first time all over again. And I won't let anything stop me from enjoying that. Certainly not stupid effing scones. God, I hate scones. These are muffins, Victory says around a mouthful of one such muffin after I express my discontent to her at Green Bean Coffee, our favorite little cafe in Toronto, near Kensington Market, on a Saturday afternoon. It's our usual thing, getting together for coffee once a week to catch up when life gets too busy for more than that. And while my life is blissfully dull as ever, aside from my blossoming, all-consuming hatred for a certain Stones of Aor streamer, my BFF has been quite busy. Victory has barely been able to take a break for weeks now, with all the commissions she's been getting for murals and window art for local businesses and events. I'm incredibly proud of her, but also incredibly sad that I can't hog her all to myself anymore. I mean, the dude, I tell her, unable to quell the rage boiling in my veins every time I think about him. Scones of Aor, The guy who streams Stones 3 all the time. Right. Victory nods like she only vaguely knows what I'm talking about. The guy with no face. I take a bite out of my own muffin, but I don't finish chewing before I reply. He has a face, but it's never fully on camera. I finally swallow. You only ever see his chin, or sometimes his mouth. It's really weird. His mouth is weird? No, his mouth is... Okay, I'm not gonna admit that I've given thought to what his mouth is like. The hiding thing, it's weird. Maybe he likes his privacy. Victory sweeps her waist-length bubblegum pink twists over her shoulder. I don't think she means to look glamorous as she does it, but she has sensory issues and her hair was probably touching her leg, but she always manages to look glamorous anyway. And didn't you say he has like 100,000 subscribers? 257,000, actually, but she doesn't need to know that. My expression flattens as I take a long sip of my cold brew through a soggy paper straw. Sorry, my cat is snoring. Victory would say it's too late in the year to still be drinking iced beverages, but hot coffee is disgusting. And no coffee? It's even worse. I showed you what people were saying about me, right? Yeah, they think you faked your, speed quest? Speed run. And yes, I take another grumpy sip. Some people even said that I must have paid someone else to speedrun the game for me and then used the footage to pretend that I was playing it myself, which sounds like way more effort than just playing it myself. Because your time was better than his? Barely. And neither of us was ranking on any lists, by the way. I slurp the rest of my coffee loudly, but I continue speaking before Victory has a chance to reply. Okay, yeah, so maybe I've never really played that sort of game on my channel before, but that doesn't mean I haven't put thousands of hours into it. I don't just play Cloud Quest and Laundromate all the time. Her eyes light up. Oh, I love Cloud Quest. I know, it's awesome, but not the point. Right, sorry. Her expression turns pensive, and she taps the sides of her coffee mug with short, brightly painted fingernails. Wait, so, this Scones guy, he accused you of cheating? Well, no, but he basically says he agrees. I tell her as I squish the straw between my fingers to vent my frustration. Not like with his words, but with his silence. Spooky. 872 people tagged me in comments on his archives and on his streams in the past few days, I add. And Victory nods even though she knows that I tend to make up numbers out of thin air. Which I did. Trying to goad him into agreeing that I'm just some wannabe gamer who should stay in her lane and keep playing kiddie games. I'm pretty sure children shouldn't play Laundromate. And he said nothing. I slam both of my palms on the table, nearly causing Victory's latte to spill. Which is bad? Exactly. Audrey, she says slowly, folding her hands together in front of her lips. You know I love you, but I hate love buzz. You realize you are being ridiculous, right? She raises her eyebrows at me and I nod sheepishly. You're annoyed that this guy you like just mad-men to you. First of all, I don't like him, I sputter, though I can feel my face heating up like it's trying to contradict me. And also, I have no idea what that means. I don't think about you at all, Victor says, sounding nothing like John Hamm. Oh, come on, I don't care about that. Look, obviously I know you don't, like him, she adds, and I stare at my empty glass as I will this topic of conversation to die. I know that's not your thing, but you like his streams, and you respect his opinion on this stuff, so it hurts when he doesn't seem to have one about you. With a laborious sigh, I slouch back in my seat, reclining like a Skyrim Jarl in this too-soft armchair that Green Bean keeps by the window. You make me sound pathetic. It's not pathetic to want people to think well of you. She takes a sip of her disgustingly hot coffee, and I roll my is. It's easy for her to say such a thing, because everyone likes her. She's friendly and smart and talented, and everything she wears looks like candy. She's the epitome of awesome, the exact opposite of me. I feel like a slob, sitting here with her in my too warm, oversized grandpa cardigan in a shade of brown that looks like it wishes it were mustard yellow, but it didn't quite make the cut, and high-waisted plaid pants that dig into my waist because they are technically a size too small now, but I hate going shopping. Maybe I do look like a candy, a Werther's original. Assuming this hating scones thing isn't going to take all day, Victory says, setting her cup down gingerly, having one of those occasional moments where she actually seems awkward and relatable instead of her usual, unflappably confident. I love her so much. Do you think we could stop at Reggie's Records after we're done here? My grin unfurls at her like a caffeine-addled Cheshire cat. Looking for something in particular? She shrugs, a limp attempt at trying to act casual. Sweet child. I can read her all too well. I just want to check out what's new in the second-hand bin. You sure you don't want to check out a certain blue-haired employee? I waggle my eyebrows at her despite lacking the coordination to do so effectively. No. I hope Pal isn't there, actually, she says, convincing exactly 0 people as she does. They're always really rude to me, and I don't need that energy in my life. I think they tease you because they like you, Vic. Her face scrunches up, but she can't fully hide the flicker of hope there. They make fun of my clothes all the time. Maybe they just want to see you out of them, I say, and her mouth drops open. Look who's suddenly making sex jokes, she says with a laugh. She reaches over and squeezes one of my hands. My sweet little ace baby. I'm not a baby. I have to hold back my immediate reaction, because I don't know how to have that conversation. I came out to my friends as asexual after I broke up with my first and only boyfriend, Sean, over 5 years ago when we were still in university, because it was the best word I had at the time. But lately I feel like I don't even know if it's right. I thought I knew what the label meant, what it said about me, but much like the cozy gamer label and my plaid pants, it's starting to chafe, like it doesn't quite fit anymore. And I don't know what to do about that. And yeah, okay, maybe some of it has to do with Scones' stupid, weird mouth and how his streams always make me laugh and how he plays the Stones of AR3 more thoughtfully than anyone I've ever seen. But whatever confusing, misguided, pathetic thoughts I've been having about this literal stranger over the last couple years are gone now, replaced with unadulterated fury aimed in his specific direction. I hate Scones, and that's that. The page break, I just want to point out, is like hearts, like HV hearts, and it's 5.5, and I just love that little detail. Okay. Summer is still clinging to the ass end of September like a water-rumpled toilet paper, but because it is technically fall, according to the equinox, I'm decked out head to toe in fuzzy earth tones. As a result, my hair is plastered to the back of my neck with sweat by the time we reach the record store 2 blocks away from the cafe, but I refuse to admit that it's not actually sweater weather yet. Reggie's Records is a remnant of the past that's been teetering on the very cusp of obscurity for years, never giving up hope that one day, vinyl records will be widely popular again. And huzzah! That time has come. The only reason that they're able to hold on so long, I'm guessing, is because their storefront is practically microscopic, wedged between a vintage clothing store and an old-school butcher's, and has very little overhead cost. That and the hipsters in the area keep them going through the dark ages. I've much respect for my millennial elders who, with their triangle scarves and their iconic mustaches, bravely fought for creepy little shops like this. We salute you. The shop, however, is like the opposite of a TARDIS. It looks tiny on the outside, and it feels even more minuscule on the inside. It's packed, floor to ceiling, with shelves and bins and racks Vinyl records, some brand new, but many are vintage as well. It's a bit of a treasure hunt, trying to find what you actually want in here, but the endless browsing potential is like a dream come true for music connoisseurs. But neither Victory nor I are music connoisseurs. We had a friend in university, Chelsea, who loved the stuff, and she would drag us here every week to see the new releases and scour the vintage gems. It was fun to see it through her eyes, but we stopped coming in after she moved away. It wasn't until Victory was hired for a mural at the shop last year that we started coming back in regularly, most likely due to her incredibly obvious yet denied crush on the newest employee. Still, I feel like it's written all over my face that I'm not the kind of person who shops here, that this isn't me. As much as I think it's a cool place, I don't fit in. And while Victory doesn't really look like she fits in either, the way her pastel clothing contrasts dramatically with all the worn out colors in the shop, that never stops her. She can go anywhere and seem like she belongs there simply because she decides to. Kinda wish it worked that way for all of us. I catch a glimpse of Pal leaning against the checkout counter when we walked in, head lowered, blue hair hanging over their eyes, but they don't seem to notice us. Victory pretends to ignore them and strides to the back of the shop to start flipping through the bargain bin of old records. The hand-scrawled label taped to the front of the bin literally says "Rejects" on it. She is undeterred. I absently flip through a nearby rack of albums, not really reading any of the titles, just trying not to look completely lost. "Can I help you find anything?" A voice behind makes both of us jump, and I turn to see Pal standing there, leaning against a rack of top-condition vintage records, looking smug and vaguely amused. Victory looks at them without turning her head. "No, we're fine. Thank you." "Great." Pal smirks at her. "Nice jacket, by the way." They snicker before walking away, and I glance at the back of Victory's denim jacket, the one that she painted last year, to say I am Knuff after watching the Barbie movie for the 17th time. She glances back at me anxiously. "That was sarcasm, right?" Her uncertainty makes me smile. "I think they're just teasing you. You should try talking to them, make a joke or something." She stares at me wide-eyed like she has no idea what a joke is, like she's never made me choke on cold brew from laughing so hard. I've read enough low-stakes, quasi-enemies-to-lovers fan fiction to know that the way Pal teases you means they like you, I assure her. Not that she should take my advice on anything related to having a love life. Like I said, I've only dated one person, and it was, as Victor explained to me afterwards, not cute. Victory picks out an album. I'm not even sure she looked at the title, and heads up to the front of the shop where Pal is standing by the checkout again, holding her chin high with the confidence of someone who didn't just pick out an album at random, like she knows what she's doing. "Find everything you're looking for?" Pal asks her with an eyebrow raised, though I don't think Victory notices the way they subtly look her up and down while she's fishing her wallet out of her purse shaped like a donut. "Yes, thank you," she says stiffly, then adjusts her posture and smiles up at them. "And if you like my jacket so much, why don't I make a matching one for you?" I think she means it to be a sarcastic jab, but Pal just looks like they've been threatened with a good time. Their face splits into a grin without a hint of irony. "Yeah?" Victory blinks at them and then looks over at me with desperate eyes, silently asking if that was sarcasm too, but I give her a nod to keep going. Yeah, I mean, if you have an old jacket you don't mind me painting, I could." "How much?" Pal asks, still grinning. How much what?" "How much do you charge for painting a jacket?" They nod towards the rainbow tiger mural that Victory painted on the shop's wall for Pride last year. "You paint stuff for a living, so I assume you have a going rate." "Oh, no," she laughs awkwardly. "This would just be for free, for fun. It's not. Can I at least buy you dinner to make it up to you?" Pal's confident smirk returns, and I clap my hands over my mouth to stop myself from laughing out loud, because they seriously just did that, and I am in awe. When they wink at me like I'm in on the whole thing, I suddenly have a better understanding why Victory has a crush on them. "Dinner," Victory is visibly flustered, but she holds her head high despite her short stature. I mean, I guess, yeah, okay, yeah, yes, yes. Great. Pal picks up the record and hands it to her before she has a chance to pay. Enjoy Weird Al's greatest hits, Victory. Victory takes the record and nods, and we leave without another word. Not until we exit the shop and make it a block down the road, where she stops and takes a look at the album she acquired. She frowns at it like she's only just now looking at what she just purchased, though not what Pal said it was. And when she turns it around, she finds a sticky note on the back. When did that... She holds up the note with Pal's number on it. How? They're like a flirting wizard, I say with a laugh, inspecting the note myself. While I didn't have my eyes on them the entire time, I'm still not sure how they got the note on there without us noticing. We stop a block over in front of my mother's stationery shop, Ink and Well, which happens to be at the front of my grandmother's house and incidentally below my apartment, when Victory suddenly laughs. 20 minutes ago, I thought Pal hated me, she says, delighted. And now I'm going on a date with them? Pal never hated you. I give her a sideways hug. They talk to you every time you went in. They're practically obsessed with you. And then they have good taste. She sweeps her hair back again, and this time I think it is on purpose. I laugh and take a step back to face her. Are we still on for Wednesday night? For a moment I think she's forgotten about our plans, but then her eyes light up with recognition. Yes! Release date, of course. I know it's a bigger deal to me than it is to her. It doesn't affect her in the slightest, actually. But she's always great at being happy for me. Just like I'm happy for her, finally getting the nerve to talk to Pal. Stones 4, midnight release. I bounce on the balls of my feet, giddy with excitement. I have been waiting for this moment for nearly a decade. An excruciating decade, as the developer that makes the series, Stones Throw Studios, hasn't released a single game in all that time. I mean, the wait is nothing compared to Elder Scrolls fans, but at least Bethesda has made other games since then, though maybe some people wish they hadn't. Still, it's about damn time. Nothing is going to get in the way of my enjoyment of this new game. Not the lukewarm reviews in the press, or slanderous speculation from fans on Reddit, or Scones' continued existence making my blood boil. I just have to make it to Wednesday night without self-combusting. Alas, dear child of the Third Sun era, let not yourself be fooled by preacher nor practitioner who cites the fall of Eora as proof of the gods' mercy and kindness. For when Eor, king of the gods, entered the mortal plane to conquer man and elf and beast alike, the gods did nothing. And when Eor's reign of tyranny spanned 1,000 years, the gods still did nothing. They did not a thing till Eor built an army of mortals to ransack the palace of the gods. Only then did they act. The execution of their corrupted king was swift and absolute, but Eor's power could not truly be destroyed by man or god. The power of Eor was splintered into 1,000 stones and scattered across the lands he once ruled, that none may take this power for their own selfish ends. And here, child, is where the preachers tell you of the mercy of the gods, how the gods selflessly close themselves off from the mortal realm, never to enter or intervene in our affairs again. To protect us, they say, to keep Eor's power from corrupting another god, from creating another king, they say. Out of the gods' reach the stones can do no harm, they say. But you and I know this to be a folly. For it is not only the gods whom power can corrupt most wholly, but man as well. And any true tyrant knows the only being more terrifying than a god with indomitable power is mortal man who seeks to become one. It is why, dear child, our land is known As Eeyor's rest, the immense power of the King of Gods is not destroyed. It is merely asleep. Excerpt from The Truth of the Gods by Edmund Greaves in The Stones of Aeor. Chapter 2 is called Don't Look. Don't look a gift horse in the butthole. I hope you had as good a time as I did. I don't read a lot of contemporary romance, because I usually find it like, maybe just like not super relatable, but this is probably the most relatable, the most I've related to a contemporary main character ever. I love Audrey. She just really speaks to me. I know you know. I know a lot of you can imagine why I see so much of myself in her. The bit about when Audrey says that people are accusing her of faking her speedrun, that is literally something that has happened to me many times. For some reason, people don't believe, and I'm not talking like most people, like it's like a very small percentage of people, but there are people out there that have accused me of faking it based on nothing. Based on the fact that they don't seem to think that, I guess, a woman would be that obsessed with a video game to want to devote so many hours of her life to playing it and speedrunning it. But guess what? People of all kinds are passionate about things, and that includes speedrunning their favorite games like Skyrim or Stones of Aeor 3. So, Audrey girl, oh, I relate so hard. So, if you want to know what's gonna happen to Audrey and Scones and Victory and Pal, you're gonna need to pick up Level Up and read it for yourself. I really highly recommend this one. 2 thumbs up. You're gonna really enjoy it. I love rom-coms and books that like rom-coms and books. I actually don't love rom-com films, but I like rom-com books. They're so much more fun to me. And like unbiasedly, I think Paisley's writing is excellent. I think that this is a phenomenal book, a phenomenal rom-com. I would like this one even if I did not personally know the author. Like, I know it sounds very, like I'm very biased, and of course I am because I'm very proud of her, but it genuinely is a very good, well-written, funny book, especially if you're a gamer girl, or a gamer boy, or a gamer they, them. You know, no discrimination here. So thank you so much, Paisley, for writing this. Thank you for letting me read it. Some of you may recognize Paisley's name because she is featured in all of my end credits, because she's part of our Patreon family. So if you ever see her in the comments, especially in the comments of this one, tell her congratulations and tell her good job, because she deserves it. And yeah, go buy Level Up. Go buy it. Okay, I'm holding it like this is the book, but you know, it's in here. Okay, I hope that this helped you relax. There's cat hair flying around. And also, off-topic note, this might be the last reading, well, it probably will be the last reading video that I film here with this background. I will be changing this room around and changing my house around. So, this is kind of a farewell video to my little backdrop. Everything's gonna look a little bit different, but it's been a nice few years here like this. Just thought I would address that. I'm gonna love you and leave you. Sleep tight tonight, everybody. Stay relaxed.